We have Hardy joining Scratch and Sniff today to talk about the new single, Jim Bob. Just wanted to start off by saying congratulations on the birth of your first child. So that's awesome. Are you guys actually getting any sleep yet?
Yeah, we're like finally over the hump. She's doing like anywhere. Last night she actually slept like 8.5 hours, which is crazy. So
Oh,
we're getting
wow.
anywhere from 6 to if we're lucky, 8 hours a night now. It's we're super lucky. It's been really good.
That's incredible. How long until you have a guitar in her hand?
Oh man, I don't know. I think that maybe like 13 or 14 I'll introduce it. I never want to make my kid feel like she has to, but I'll probably put a gun or a rifle in her hand before a guitar. I'll tell you that much.
Well, cool. Well, we're just talking about Jim Bob. Jim Bob Trailer Park Takeover mix is going to run on Scratch and Sniff. Jim Bob gives this great portrait of who the character is, and I feel like everybody can sort of relate to it. That like they either know a Jim Bob or they have a Jim Bob in their family. Did you base Jim Bob on any real life people?
Yeah, I mean, loosely off of a guy. I mean, literally, I just took the name from like a redneck dude that I knew in my hometown. But as far as like the actual character, no. I mean, it's just like I mean, you nailed it though. It just he Jim Bob is like the depiction of a lifestyle more than an actual person. There's all kinds of people that are the same in their own way, and they're like, this is my life, and this is how I'm going to live it, and fuck off if you think any differently, and that's just the Jim Bob mentality.
I see that Jim Bob made his way to Red Rocks. He took a shot on the iconic stands for the live album. Is it possible to see the Jim Bob character, could appear in future Hardy songs or album artwork?
Yeah, man, I think like the Jim Bob Easter egg will be nice. I think that'll probably exist for the rest of my career. We'll keep him around in certain. It's like the hidden in Disney World. There's the things called like secret Mickeys or whatever, and there's like hidden little Mickey Mouse like things all over the walls and stuff. You have to look for. Maybe we'll do something like that, like a hidden Jim Bob or something.
I think you have like all these iconic, rock mascots. You have Iron Maiden with Eddie and stuff like that.
Totally,
So maybe Jim Bob is your version of that. So.
I love it, man. I think that's great.
Now, you're one of the artists that's sort of waving the flag for Southern rock at this point. We wanted to know who is your Mount Rushmore of Southern rock.
Wow. I'm gonna go. Okay, my personal one, like not the one that that everybody should, that not like the one that should just be the actual one, but Skinner is like number one. It's crazy I think to think any differently. Blackberry Smoke, which is they're not old, they're like a current band. Have you ever heard of them? They're amazing.
They're phenomenal.
They are so freaking good. So I'm putting them up there because I think they are so good, and people can hate all they want. Let's see, Southern rock. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Allman Brothers. Because there's so many Southern rock bands that I feel like only had a couple of hits, and I personally don't know like Marshall Tucker's deep catalog, but I do know a lot of Allman Brothers, and I love them. And then I'm gonna go um, Little Feat because I love Little Feat. So yeah, that's a weird one, but those are my top four.
That's awesome. You're sort of straddling the line between country, rock, sort of whatever comes to you, and strikes the spark of inspiration. Is it a little bit ironic that it feels like country music now seems to be the genre that's sort of coloring outside the lines of traditional genre lines the most in music now? You have guys like Jelly Roll, you have yourself, even Post Malone, all those guys, and they're really breaking down barriers of those genre lines.
Yeah, it seems to be bigger than ever now. I don't really know why that is. I think that I personally think that Morgan Wallen is like the last uh, reason that it's been so popularized. I just think that he has had such a huge um, outreach. Like he's playing stadiums and he's having crossover records that are pop, but they still. I mean, he sounds like a redneck when he sings. He's literally like, he is a country person, and I think guys like Shabuzi, um, that are having like crossover hits. I don't know. I think that there's a few people responsible for it exploding, and then now that there's all these new fans, they're diving in and they're diving into like, um, all the people that maybe aren't playing stadiums and crap like that. But it's really cool, man. There's a lot of traditionalists out there, and to that I say, if you go back and you watch the evolution of country music, um, it takes people like genre bending people to change the genre for the genre to evolve so it doesn't get stagnant and stale. And yeah, so I think it's super cool.
Somebody else who's really having their moment in the spotlight is Jelly Roll. I know you guys are friends. Have you guys had any trade backs of advice or how to handle the I guess the pressure of fame and staying grounded?
I know that he and I we've talked about it some like in the past, but nothing more than just like how you doing, call me if you need me kind of. Jelly, I feel like Jelly's got a great head on his shoulders, especially now, and every time we talk, we just bullshit. We don't really get too deep. I'm not gonna lie. We just talk about music or whatever it is. But he's definitely a guy that makes you feel like if you need to call somebody in the middle of the night just to talk about that you can relate, both relate to some of the same problems. He's one of those guys for sure.
Now I know you I guess recently or within the last year you had the chance to jump on stage with Creed. You were up there with Nickelback, both super successful, but they can be polarizing to rock fans. Why do you think they get so much hate?
Because they wrote hits.
You think that's what it boils down to?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, I think that anybody is easy to make fun of when everybody else likes them. I think that's when people start disliking bands, is when everybody starts liking them, and it's just a horrible truth. There's just when people get so big that, like, let's say like you're a rock and roll fan and you don't particularly like, I don't know, frat guys, whatever, and a rock and roll band gets so big that like the frat guys or whatever start listening to Nickelback. Well, you don't like that because you're like a hardcore metal dude or whatever. You're a rock and roll guy, and I just think that's how people develop haters, is when like the masses start liking somebody and they get this like hipster jealousy where they're like, that's bullcrap. Like, I discovered them first, so I'm not gonna like this band anymore. I don't know. That's the way I've always seen it. Is just when everybody starts liking something, that's when a lot of people start hating that same thing. It's just the way I've always thought about it.
And when you first get into a band, you feel like it's yours, like there's like an ownership thing, right? And then if everybody else likes it, I can see why people feel a certain way.
Yeah, it's like they're like, that's not fair. I discovered them first. I knew about them way longer than you did. It's like this weird possessive thing, and I just think that that's what happens.
With the Creed thing, I was watching the video where you're saying you were going back and forth with Scott Stapp on DMs. Was there any talk about what song to do? How did you come up with "Weathered" as the song you were performing?
He actually let me pick, and I just said send me the set list, and I love Weathered, man. It's got a cool like southern rock vibe to it, and I know like every Creed song. I was a huge Creed fan growing up, and I was thankful to see that one was still in the set list, and didn't also want to sing one of their biggest songs because that's like their moment, and they're having such a great comeback that I didn't want to like take any spotlight and be like, yeah, let me sing One Last Breath or whatever. And I love Weathered. So it seemed like it fit perfect.
I had a chance to see them on the tour just before Christmas there, and they really don't get enough credit for the amazing show that they put in and how musical they really are.
Man, it's awesome. I mean, you got Mark Tremonti playing guitar, like one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Like, all those guys, incredibly talented. And I'll tell you what, they were all like incredibly, incredibly nice to me, and made me feel welcome and feel like home. And I went over there for sound check to just run it through, and they were all just like normal dudes and just talking about normal stuff, and just really great guys. The whole band, really good dudes.
I know you've talked about sort of your dream rock collaborations. You mentioned Trent Reznor, Corey Taylor. What is it about those two that sort of pique your curiosity from a creative standpoint?
I think that I'm huge fans of both. I also think that those two guys are just like something that I would. They have a sound that I would love to kind of keep blending with country music, and I'm a fan, but also just from a true like talent and like business perspective, like I'm like, man, I want to work together because I want to do something cool, and I think you can like bring that to my table kind of thing. I mean, I think like a Slipknot ish type country thing with a country lyric would be awesome, and dude, some sort of industrial country thing I think would also be awesome. I think there's a space for both, and yeah, I'm a huge fan of both those guys.
I think like Corey's got that versatility. Like he could do, he can do something like Stone Sour or the Corey
Totally.
Taylor project and Slipknot. And then I think Trent Reznor just has a different way of looking at music and breaking things down.
I agree. I really I love Corey, but man, I'm a huge Nine Inch Nails fan, and we are actually going to go get to see them. We're playing some shows in Europe in a couple months, and I'm leaving a festival early. Thank God, I'm playing like a festival, like a metal festival at like 2 p.m. And we're getting on the bus, and we're driving to I think Amsterdam, which is only like an hour and a half away, to go watch Nine Inch Nails headline the festival that we're going to play the next day. And I've never seen them before. I'm so excited.
That's gonna be awesome.
Can't wait.
Those metal festivals and those rock festivals, you have all the big ones like Danny Wimmer presents in the US and stuff like that. I feel like those festivals are sort of, breaking genre lines as well. Cause like you had guys like Jelly and Tech Nine and stuff like that have played, a Sonic Temple or Welcome to Rockville. Like they're sort of mixing it up as well.
Yeah, that was cool to see. I'm trying to think. There was another band that we played Rockville 2 years ago, and I mean, I technically coming into it as a country artist was awesome. But there was another band I thought that played that I was like, oh, that's really cool that they're playing. I can't remember who it is now, but I also man, it was just also really cool to see so many different bands. I've only been to a couple of rock festivals growing up. Being from Mississippi, I couldn't even get close to a really great one, like a Danny Wimmer festival. But it's just so cool to discover, and there's just so much going on, like so much cool music. There's a band called Slay Squad, which is like kind of coined the term ghetto metal, which is so dope to me. Um, they're Bloodywood, which is like an Indian band who like incorporates like traditional Indian music into their metal. Like we got to see them live. Like there's so many cool things going on at one time, and man, rock festivals like it's just very cool. It's a cool scene.
I think one of the first times that you got on my radar was somebody had sent me like a screenshot of like they were talking about music that you listened to, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm bumping Dropout Kings and 12 Foot Ninja," and I was like, "What?" Like that that was crazy to me that those like at the time, right? That they're relatively underground bands and that they're on your playlist.
Dude, I will sniff you out, man. If you're dope, I will find you. I will go through the folds of the Spotify algorithm just to find anything dope. I'm trying to think. There's all kinds of stuff that I sometimes it's not I can't even remember names of bands, but I just do deep dives on people and save the songs I like. But there's always something or some cool new band out there. Always.
So I guess to wrap it up, then, what's currently on your playlist, or what have you been listening to the most that's sneaking through the algorithm for you?
Dude, this is funny that you talked about like Creed and Nickelback and people hating because already starting to see this with this band, and it pisses me off because I just think they're so different and cool. But I'm the biggest Sleep Token fan in the world. I think that they are so sick. I think it's the freshest shit I've ever heard, and so they're like number one on my list right now. Johnny from Bill Murray is like a good friend of mine, and but if even if I didn't know him, I would say Bill Murray is crushing it, and I think their music is amazing. Um, I don't know. I'd have to go like dig through my Spotify a little bit, but I've got to think of one. There's got to be one more. I can't. I'm on my phone. I want to scroll through my thing, but I can't right now. Oh, Oh, what's the name of that? What's the name of that band? Um. Oh my gosh, they're from California. They've got a song called I think it's called Wasteland. Nothing more. I think maybe is the
Oh,
name of the band.
nothing more dope.
Is nothing more the guys that sound kind of like Alice in Chains.
They have a little bit of influence with that. There's a ton of bands that are like in that scope. Chains is one of my favorite bands. I love that band.
Are they? Are those? I think it's nothing more. I think that's the band. I think it's something like that. I feel bad. I feel like I should know the name, but that's they're one that I've been really into recently.
That's awesome. Well, I think our time's up, but I appreciate you joining us. We'll plug the radio takeover, and I thank you so much for joining us. The new record's dope. I've been bumping it a lot. So
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
hey, thanks for taking the time today.
All right, brother. We'll see you
All
soon.
right. Yeah, take care.